Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Listen, if this doesn't tell you everything you need to know, I don't know what will. Now, this man here, David Schwartz, wants people to know, at least over the last week, I'm not sure if people are just questioning him or he's just fed up and he's saying, you know what, I'm going to let you know how powerful XRP is, how important it is once and for all. This is what he's been doing, and this is what he's saying. Listen to this, how powerful this is. So this article is titled, XRP has privileged role on XRPL. Ripple CTO explains the key advantages, which is unbelievable. I was just talking about this, wasn't I? In the last like 2-3 videos, I was talking about all these special mechanisms and how everything that touches the XRPL affects XRP, which I got from David Schwartz. He said that a long time ago. There can't be two XRP prices. He said that a long time ago. All right, let me read this to you. If you enjoy this content, click that like button. Boom. Now, it begins here. Ripple CTO confirms XRP's unmatched. There's no RLUSD on par with it, taking its place. That doesn't happen. It doesn't work like that. And I said that. First of all, RLUSD, in order for it to not be depegged like all the other ones probably will be again, when you start having those financial problems that the banks are going to run into again. They've just been building a bubble. They're in this like false protection that was built over the last maybe 2.5 years or so globally. But when bank runs start happening again, and it starts from the top and it works its way down to the bottom, there's going to be depeggings again. Well, RLUSD doesn't have to worry about that. You know why? Because of XRP. It needs XRP. Like all these businesses need XRP. Everything needs XRP, literally. If it's going to be using XRPL, XRP is literally like a king on a throne. I'm just painting a visualization because it can help in understanding. So now let me finish reading this. Ripple CTO confirms XRP's unmatched role at the heart of the XRPL, driving liquidity. People don't understand how deep that is and how important that is. And the liquidity problems that have just been building and building and building. And then they held it back with a bunch of illusory things that they were putting into place, like that one. Let's take the US, for example. So, you know, a long time ago, they said, well, no more bailouts. But then if you look at the collapse that happened with the banks, Silvergate, SVB, etc., around that time, they instituted a new facet of the government where the banks were able to infinitely withdraw money. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the same as a bailout. They just changed the verbiage around it. So it's technically not a bailout, but it is. And then what happened? We read countless articles and documents. Those videos are still up as evidence. Then some of the bank representatives were interviewed. We read it here on the channel. And they said, well, if we can continue to borrow, even after they didn't need the money, they didn't need it anymore. They said in an interview, well, if we can still borrow, why wouldn't we? What? That's your mentality as a bank? So I'm just painting a picture that liquidity is going to be necessary. There's a major problem. This is why all the central banks are stacking gold. And now you see a little interest in silver, don't you? Yes, you do. But they're stacking gold because there's a problem. Major bank collapses look inevitable into the future, unless they're just going to keep kicking the ball down the road. That's possible as well, I suppose. If they keep creating these illusory, pathways where they can borrow and just patch up the hole with fiat currency, I suppose. But what happens when you can't kick the ball anymore? I mean, all the global debt, people keep focusing on only the U.S. debt. No, that's a smokescreen. OK, sure, the U.S. debt is important as well. But look at the global debt is out of this world. And that's a problem. All these systems run the same. Liquidity is important. XRP is in the driver's seat. You want it to be in the driver's seat. Are we here to make value or not? It's like people don't want to believe XRP is as powerful as it actually is. But it is. Why not just accept that? It is that powerful. It is in that position. And although there's no guarantees in life, this is as close as people are going to get to saying, yeah, this is going to be some unbelievable wealth. And what you do with it is up to you. Not financial advice whatsoever. Just my humble opinion as a researcher of what I'm observing. Let's keep going. There's more. So driving liquidity. Oh, that next article. Wait until we get to that next article. Speaking of which, it says enabling seamless DeFi. Why? Why? Why does it enable seamless DeFi? In what way does he mean this? He doesn't elaborate much further. Well, we'll see in a moment. But here, it doesn't elaborate much further. First of all, interoperability. This is, and I said this, if you look at how the legacy system or what they prefer when they have a new system that's going up, they need all of them on board. Let me ask you a question. When they rolled out Zelle, did they just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 banks, or did they have a whole bunch of banks? A multitude of banks. They had a multitude of banks. Right, because systems function better when you have hundreds, if not thousands of companies go online with that particular system all at the same time. So what do you think? That's why. So what do you think is going to happen when it's time, when all the barricades are removed? We only got a few left. There's only a few left. And it's time to so-called flip the switch. I love that phrase. Flip the switch, where they're ready for everything to start, this mass activity to begin on the XRPL. They're going to have thousands of banks. They had hundreds of them before years ago. You got Ripple representatives coming out and bragging about having a bunch of central banks. This is what they claim. I don't work for them. I don't know. I'm telling you what multitude of articles told many of us researchers. So, I mean, if we're going to go by that, and so far Ripple has kept their word, they definitely have 100%. They've continued to march forward 100%. So I'm inclined to believe what they're saying at this point. I wouldn't call it trust. Outside of me and a few people that's, maybe around me. Yeah, I wouldn't say trust, but I would say that it leans me that way because all the evidence is pointing that way, that when they say something, they're serious about it until I see otherwise. So anyway. So they may have a bunch of central banks. That's major. The central banks in turn are going to, we've already seen it, they're going to attempt to force their systems. And if their system is the XRPL and XRP is backing XRPL, clearly it cannot function without XRP. All those special mechanisms require XRP. If that's the way that it is, those central banks are going to force a bunch of subservient banks. I don't know how else you phrase that, the lesser banks, to utilize those very same systems. They are. We've already seen them attempt with different things. And it's unfortunate for them, very fortunate for anyone who loves XRP, that all their systems are very weak right now. You see what's going on in Europe with their financial system? Look it up and let that blow your mind. They're going to need systems like that that can quickly deploy. They've been working with Ripple for the longest. They're familiar with the technology, and the technology has only become more advanced, more powerful, and they're holding back. That's another thing. I know they're holding back. Those who've been in the industry and you're hearing, what was that? And you're hearing certain things, my apologies. You're hearing certain things behind the scenes, number one. Number two, we know we're researching way more than crypto. Let's just be real. A lot of us, this is what we do. This is what we do. And look at how the technologies are going. We know that they're holding back. Because some of those other technologies that are really going to be like a hit of steroids, they're already highly capable of integrating that right now, rolling out right now. So why didn't they? Right. It's a game. It's a game. They don't want the people too bullish. They don't want things to look too good too soon. Right. And on top of that, it's not necessarily about the regular people of retail. Don't worry. We'll get back to this article. By the way, click that like button. Boom. Hit that like button and boom, boom, hit that like button. Like it's a game. Boom. Say that to yourself. Boom. You know you want to. I know. I'm cool like that. I always been. Anyway, those systems being weak, they literally need this life preserver, period. They can't get around it. They can't. And another thing, with the whole stacking of gold, think about how these connections come together. Stacking of gold, imminent collapses at some point in the future. I don't know when. I just know it's there. Everyone who's looked deeply into these financial problems, they know it's there. It can't deny it. It's a matter of when. So stacking of gold because of imminent collapses in the bank collapses or problems, which would cause contagion. That's what they call it, contagion. But in order, if that does happen, how do you move that gold value? Do you move it in the old archaic way? Or do you move that gold across systems that right now can move that value at light speed? You see that? You understand where this is going? Everything goes back to the bank coins, everything, DLT. And the beauty of it is all of them are highly interoperable with the smallest adjustment. The smallest adjustment, they know it. That's why you have Ripple working with Hedera and Ripple working with Cardano. You think that they've spoken to Chainlink, and then why did that get quiet? Why did that relationship get quiet? All of a sudden, Ripple they had some kind of relationship with Chainlink, and then listen, you never hear about it again. Why did that happen? They can integrate. They're all in on it. The Bankcoin companies know it's almost time to strike while the iron is hot. Let's get back to this article here, because you know what? You're talking a lot. You got a lot of information. I'm gonna tell you, I like it. You're on your A game. You're good. You might even be the best. I'm telling you right now. All right. But we got to get back to the article. All right. I know you're cool. You're smart. I know. And you're going to conquer this week also. I know that also. You're going to conquer this week. You're going to have a great week. Probably going to have a great dinner later on. I'm not sure by the time this video releases, you might already have had dinner, but you're going to eat healthy. I already know. I know. But we have to get back to this article. So it continues. It says, enabling. So I'm giving you some positive. Boom. How many people really going to give you that positivity, build you up? Right. Anyway, it says driving liquidity, enabling seamless DeFi, and maintaining core functionality. Listen to this part right here. Maintaining core functionality no other asset can rival. No other asset. He's saying don't even let it come into your mind. XRP is the one. That's what we hold. If you have that XRP, hopefully, not financial advice, but in an air-gapped cold wallet, hackers can't touch it. It's hidden somewhere safe. Hidden somewhere safe. He's saying that that's what you hold. It's the one, the big one. What are they saying? They think Ripple is playing around. Believe someone when they let you into their mentality. Observing one's speech. It's the energy in their speech, their behavior patterns tell you a lot about them. You just have to observe. You don't even have to ask questions. And so when they say we want to move all the money, we're going to easily take the banks. You even hear the lawyer talking that way. What was it, either last year summer or the year before that summer when Stuart Alderati came? Look up this article. Well, a bunch of articles, actually. When he did the interview and he said, we believe the banks, the commercial banks will want to use XRP multiple. And I'm paraphrasing, but look up the actual quote. Even he has the mentality. Even he sees what's going on. That winner's mentality, that they call it the dog mentality. You always getting after it. You got to go after something. You have to work hard. Actually, I need to look up where that came from, actually. But that's what they call it in sports, the dog mentality. I got that dog in me. That's what they used to say a long time ago, just to convey the energy to you. They're letting you know when you have a person like that with that mentality, or a company led by people with that mentality, chances, listen, there's high chances they're going to be successful. Whatever they're pushing forward in this aspect, XRP, that value is going to go up. In my humble opinion, not financial advice, that value is going to go up. They're going to win. Folks, listen, there's an ocean of people and companies out there waiting to get dominated at all times. At all times. They're everywhere. Companies, people, they're in sports. You'll be surprised. They could be great, but their mentality is weak. They're ready to get dominated. Individuals like this who believe that they're going to win, they typically will win. I know, like I've used that so much. In my mind, I feel like no matter what I do, I'm going to win. I'm not going to, no matter how hard it gets. And you know what's crazy? When things get harder, I'm at my best. When the fire is turned up and everybody else feels like it's not going to be a victory, I'm the one who's telling them, no, we're going to win. And typically we do. in life. I've been like that throughout life. So I understand what they're trying to do. I understand what they're attempting. I see. I understand it. I think XRP, I 100%, I've said this a lot of times, and I mean it more and more each time I say it, and I mean it in a different degree or dimension. Every time I say it, I feel like XRP is going to absolutely dominate, period. And I don't think most people, I don't care how much they think they know, I believe that most people don't know what they hold. I really do. I feel that way. They become numb to it. It's like, who was it? Was it Plato or Aristotle that said, all I know is that I know nothing. Learning is ongoing. That's what he meant. Learning and growth is ongoing. So what you think you knew then, it's going to change moment to moment. It's like that now. There's always something new to learn about XRP. So now let's go here. I want to drop this on you before the video gets too long, but that first article was powerful. Look it up for yourself. Give it a read when you get time. Okay. If you get time. Now, this article here is titled, Dubai Real Estate Sales Hit $18 billion in May Amid Tokenization Push. Who's in Dubai? Who had activity recently in Dubai? XRP, Ripple. Wait, who else was it? In SBI. Don't forget, SBI was there also. Now, I don't know what came of what they were supposed to be doing, or who knows if the articles were accurate. Like, we're reading from article writers. You never know. You never know. You got to you have to kind of look at a multitude of sources to really see like, okay, what's going on here? But they're there. We know Ripple and a bunch of other bank coins are deep in the MENA region, period. Dubai loves XRP. Look it up. A little Google search. They love Ripple. They love XRP, the XRPL, and they're smart and they're money makers. So who do you think is going to benefit? I know a bunch of companies. It's not going to be one company to rule them all. No, it's not. I don't believe in such a thing. I'm not an absolutist like that. I'm not a maximalist whatsoever. Don't try to put me in a box. That doesn't work. I don't like boxes. I'm simply me. But there will be a few companies people know of that will feast in the MENA region. We know Ripple is there. They've been building for a long time. They work with QMB. They work with Atajari Wafa, and they have a bunch of subsidiaries, a bunch of smaller companies that they're attached to. We went over it on the channel, hundreds of them. They're going to influence them. Clearly, they need to be on one system for this to work. Hedera is there. Now, as quiet as it's kept, and we used to cover this often, and I still believe in them. Zenfin XDC, one of the most powerful and slept on DLT companies. They're also there. Yep, they are. They're just at least when I used to cover them heavily, they're very quiet about what they do. It's hard to find information. But when you do find information, they are serious business. I'm just saying. So I said Ripple's there, Hedera's there. Zenfin is there. There's someone else. I believe Algorand also is there, but I just can't put my finger on what it was at the time that they were doing. All right, don't quote me on that one, but I think I remember there was one more. It's either Algorand or Cardano. Do you remember? All right, let's move on. Let's get a little bit. You're funny. You're funny. Yeah. Because your thoughts, this is going to sound wild, right? And I'm just playing around, but play along. It's funny when you play along. Your thoughts are coming through the screen, and them inner thoughts. You're funny. You're a funny person. I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh man, after this, I'm getting me a cold water. But you know what I really want? I really want a cold soda. I really do want a cold soda, and I know you're gonna go, oh Mick, don't drink the soda. I know. I don't want a cold soda. You did all this stuff today? You relaxing? Right? You relaxing? Did you go out and tend to your garden? You didn't tend to your garden? You didn't even order me. How did they used to say in the old days? You didn't order me a cold pop. Be one of those. You drank yourself a cold pop. What? How dare you? You didn't even offer your company a cold soda? Mick is snapping. Nah, Mick is having fun. I make my own fun. I do my own thing. I march to the beat of my own drum. I do what I want. Everyone should. As long as it's not harmful to anyone like that, it's not something that that you yourself consider by your moral standards bad or whatever. Like, I do what I please. That's how life is supposed to be. We're not supposed to be a slave to other people's whims. That don't work. Life is not supposed to be like that. So I like to have fun. That's all it is. I like to play. I like to joke. I like to play sports too. Yeah. So anyway, this article here. So be free. Fly like an eagle. Fly and soar. Believe in yourself. Free yourself. Have some fun. Have some fun. Do something creative. There's always something new to do. There's always something more to conquer. There's always another level. Another level. Don't let anything stop you. Nothing. Not people, not your health. You know, you want to be careful. This is not advice. I'm just letting my mind spill. So observe my spillage. You don't let anything stop you in this life. Don't. Shake yourself free of it. Fly. So now, this article is titled, good folks out there, $425 trillion Bitcoin in 20 years. This person says it's not pessimism. I don't know why it says that. Because it's 20 years? You said 425 trillion. Where does pessimism come in with this? Believes top expert. Guess who the expert is? Which expert do you think it is? Do you think you know? Guess. Just tell me before I say the name, all right? We haven't heard from this one in a while. I almost forgot about him, and I know shame on me because he's one of my favorites. I love to read that. I like to read fun, good stuff at times because a lot of information is hardcore. It's boring. It's not fun. And I'm going to tell you what about researchers. We read more information and more articles than we could ever cover anywhere. More is lost than what we could present to people. And that most of it is boring. So, yes, I love when we get a fun article. Bitcoin market to hit $425 trillion. Top expert reveals the timeline. Here's when. I love this stuff because it's like some people feel like they have a crystal ball or something like that. And it's like I think they get exhilaration out of making these predictions. This is in a recent X debate, of course. Top analyst Willy Woo. It was Willy Woo. Willy Woo is back, folks. I don't know, the old timers. A lot of I'm like old timers. I'm like, watch it, Mick. You see them whites right there? Watch it, Mick. The old timers. Hey, I didn't reach triple OG status just yet. I'm just saying. But anyway, remember the old timers used to believe in it was like this. There's a verbiage for it where there's like a sign of something to come. I can't remember what it's called, but last time this individual was talking, I don't know if there's something to it. It was right before Bitcoin went kablooey and took the rest of the market with it. Remember that? That's when we used to hear a lot from Willy Woo. And it's like strange. Are they just not covering this individual's quotes and thoughts anymore? Is that what it is? Or did he just, or I say he, but I shouldn't say he because I don't know who this is. Or did the person just stop talking for a while? Because that would be strange also and suspicious. But anyway, let's continue on. Top analyst Willy Woo threw out a number that sounded almost too wild to be true, to be real. $425 trillion. That's where he sees Bitcoin's market potential landing in just 20 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. A lot could happen in 20 years. According to him, that's not some moonshot fantasy. That's just math. All right, well, break it down, Mr. Woo. I'm saying Mr. Woo. Once again, I don't know who the person is. Fidelity claims Bitcoin's value storing ability. I like to be accurate. Or is it accurate or is it precise? Whichever one it is. So it's like it sticks like a thorn in my mind. Like, wait, Mick, we don't know who that person is. It's like a thorn in my mind. My mind works like that. Fidelity claims Bitcoin's value storing ability gives it an edge over all other cryptocurrencies and pegs its quote addressable market unquote at a solid $18.5 trillion. Big number. Okay. But then came Adam back saying Bitcoin could tap into a much bigger pie. Is that so? $209 to $300 trillion, the total monetary premium sitting in assets like stocks, bonds, and real estate. Basically, all the places people park money just to avoid inflation and risk. You think the bulk of that is going into Bitcoin? I don't know about that. I mean, could a lot of it go there? Yes, a lot of it could go there. But I think a lot of it's going into bank coins like XRP. Algorand is going to be up there. I don't care what people say. Algorand has been phenomenal in building a lot of those RWA. That means they tested it out also and have the data and have had years to improve on RWA, real world asset tokenization. So Algorand is there. All right. So bank coins like that, I think is going into the bank coins. A lot of this. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Basically, all the places people park money. OK. So at least they have a reasoning behind this. It says Wu wasn't having it, calling that pessimistic. Oh, that was just a way for him to say this and came back with his $425 trillion figure. OK, so Willie Woo's like, oh, you think you're bullish? Really? Let me go on my sweater real quick. Boom. Here's a much higher number for you, sir. Right? He wants to be the most bullish. I get it. That's okay. This is interesting. Plus or minus 50% based on where things could head in the next 2 decades. That's also very interesting. And I would agree with that. I don't know about these huge numbers. Like I said, I think it's going to be spread out. The legacy system will get a little bit from their offerings. They will have their piece of the pie. OK, the bank coins, I think, are going to dominate the most. And then you'll have Bitcoin on the side here and it will do what it does. So now that you have that information. Wait, I messed up my intro. Wait a minute. Wait, let me just flow. Let me loosen up a little bit. Wait a minute. It'll come to me. Now that you have that information, why does it feel so unnatural? What's going on with the energies today? What the heck? Now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? Let's just roll with it. We made it too far already. What are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money. I don't forget that part.